Hey everyone, my name is Michael, and I wanted to take a moment to make a video for you guys here in the Ivim community, and to kind of help support you guys. Thankfully, Ivim recently has given me a couple opportunities to share my story with people and to give advice, right? So I wanted to take the time to share my weight loss journey, my story as a man, right, and how I got from where I was to where I am today and to where I'm going, right. So number one, everyone that's watching this video has decided to take a moment in their life. There was a moment in their life where they're like, I need to make a change, right? Like I need to address my weight. I need to address my health, right? So I want you guys to know, if you're already part of this community, you've taken the first step, and I'm so proud of every single one of you guys. And I want to explain my story and some of my advice to help you guys along the way. So my weight loss journey started in 2024 to 2025, right? So in 2024, I was working as a corrections officer. I was 330 pounds. I wasn't healthy, right? I have a heart condition. I had a high blood pressure. I was taking medication for those things. I had sleep apnea. I was eating very unhealthy. I had a hard time doing the things I wanted to do, and it caused some issues at work, right? Inmates didn't respect me because of my weight, and fellow officers couldn't trust me enough they didn't trust that I would have their back in these situations. So, what the tipping point for that was in 2024, the beginning of the year, I got hit by a train in my car, and I had to spend that whole year recovering, right? So I fractured my neck, I tore all the ligaments in both of my knees, I had multiple fractures throughout my body, and I had to go through multiple knee surgeries. I had to go through physical therapy to relearn how to walk, and the common thing that came up was my weight. My weight really made recovery 10 times harder, and it also caused issues with my heart condition. It wasn't getting any better. So I struggled throughout most of 2024, really recovering, because before, I knew I was overweight, but I didn't really comprehend that I was overweight, right? I didn't comprehend on what it was really doing to my health until I saw that my weight does have a huge impact on recovery outcomes, on mortality outcomes, and comorbidities and things like that. It opened my eyes. Okay, I really need to address my weight. And I didn't really start to address it until the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. I started doing research on GLP-1s online. I was like, are GLP-1s, is that an option for me? And I saw that it's really hard to get covered under insurance. And I looked for online pay options, and I was like, man, it's like $900 to $1,000, to get these treatments and things just weren't affordable. But I decided around November 2024 to take a chance. So I started off with a different company called Noom, and I started on semaglutide with them, which is basically Ozempic, Wegovy, but I started on compounded semaglutide, and it actually, I lost about 10 pounds in 2 weeks, and I was like, well, okay, this is going pretty well. But the cost just wasn't there, and I started doing more research, and I was like, I'd rather, I want more results, right? I want, more rapid, faster results. So I started looking into tirzepatide, right, which is, Zepbound, Mounjaro, and Noom didn't offer that, and the pricing just wasn't that great for me. So I kept doing research. At this point, I got back into corrections, and my old job took me back after I got cleared and stuff, and I just saw, okay, I can't continue 2025 being this overweight. I didn't like how I looked. It killed my confidence as a man. It killed my confidence as a human being, and I just didn't like how I looked. And almost losing my life really, really put that into perspective for me. So I looked around, and I came across Ivim, right? And Ivim had different options like the semaglutide, tirzepatide. There was even liraglutide, things like that. So I did a consultation with Ivim. I talked with the Ivim provider and the dietitians and stuff, and they recommended, yeah, like let's do tirzepatide, right? And they had an introductory price. It was like, I think it was like 600 or something for 3 months. I don't know the exact price, but it was like an introduction to a new you type promo type thing. So I got on tirzepatide, started paying for that, and the weight started coming off, right? The cool thing about tirzepatide is that there's a lot of studies that are showing that it's just more for weight loss, right? Tirzepatide really changed my outcome and my outlook on life. It changed my habits, right? So instead of, seeing like pictures of food or videos of food and craving that food, like I didn't crave that anymore. The food noise turned off. But it also it shifted something in my body where my body, instead of being addicted to going and getting, triple cheeseburgers and drinking, like I was drinking a 2 liter of soda a day. Instead of doing that, it made me crave healthy things. So I would see water and I'm like, oh, I really want that water, right? Like I would see electrolytes, like, oh man, that's healthy, I want that. I would see healthy foods like salads, healthy foods like fibrous foods, greens, fruits, vegetables. I saw healthy things and my body craved that. But also it started making my body crave movement. So I started going to the gym. And once I started going to the gym and getting my nutrition on point, pairing that with tirzepatide, the weight started coming off quite rapidly. And there was a moment in time where my heart condition started reacting to it, and I had to take a break from the medication until my cardiologist was like, this was something else unrelated, like I think you could get back on this medication. But Ivim made sure to take care of me. I told him, like, hey, this is a reaction I'm having. They made sure to take care of me and say, hey, okay, let's make sure we're doing this safe, right? And that's the cool thing about compounded GLP-1s, is that the protocol can be more customized to you. That's why Ivim calls it the GLP-1 ID, right? Because it's for you. It can do a different dosing schedule. But the weight started coming off. Like within 6 months, I was down 50 something pounds. And I was going to the gym regularly. And then at that point in my life, tirzepatide also, I no longer have sleep apnea because of the weight I lost through tirzepatide. And I also found that they actually use tirzepatide as a sleep apnea medication, right? Tirzepatide also made my blood work great. Leveled cholesterol levels, it leveled A1C levels, it hematocrit, all these things. It has such a metabolic effect on your cardiovascular system, on your endocrine system, everything, that tirzepatide can be used just for more than weight loss, right? Because of the progress I was going, I decided, okay, I need to address some more things. So I got into hormone health, right? So I got my testosterone levels checked, found out I had really low testosterone. So I got on testosterone. Ivim doesn't offer testosterone, so I had to go somewhere else. But I got on testosterone treatments, and I got on other peptide therapy through Ivim, on Samoralin, things like that. And from starting with Ivim, I went from 330 pounds to now to 224 pounds. So I've lost over 100 pounds through Ivim and through GLP-1s, and my life has been exponentially better. So some of my advice for you guys coming in and starting as a new patient with Ivim, right? Number one, it takes a lot of courage to take that step forward and even start treatment. So I'm very proud of you that you've done that. Number two, don't judge your results on other people's results. Some people, the results move fast, and some people, the results move slow. So if you see for a week or two that the scale is not moving like you want it to, don't worry, it's still working. Is your body, it takes time to adjust. It's playing with hormone levels, it's playing with metabolic levels. There's other stuff that's happening on the back end that lets you know the medication is working, right? And if you feel like your food noise is coming back, if you feel like you're not making that progress, please talk to the providers at Ivim, talk to the nutritionists, talk to the dietitians, because maybe your nutrition isn't where it needs to be, and that's why like that GLP-1 can't work as well. Maybe like you're not exercising, whatever the case may be. There's a reason for that. Don't judge success based on the number of the scale. Judge success based on how you feel, right? So if you feel more healthy, if you're making more healthy choices, that's how the medication's working, right? But success shows up in a lot of ways. So when I started with Ivim, my pant size was a 48, right? I was wearing a 48. I could squeeze into a 46. Now, like I have to wear a belt with size 40 pants. So like, I went down, 6 inches in waist size, right? Like, and I'm probably even under 40 inches, right? Because I still have to wear a belt with 40 inches. I've constantly had to buy new clothes, right? Um, Other successes were no more sleep apnea, right? My heart condition is way much better. My blood pressure is so much better. Things like that. So there's other successes with weight loss than just the number. And I promise you, if you don't pay attention too much on the numbers and just pay attention to making healthy choices every day, if you look at from where you started to where you are at now, you're going to see a huge difference. You're going to see that you clearly look better. Like, I had to look at a picture of me a year ago to a picture now to put it into perspective, like on how large I was to how much better I look now. And that's not to say that I didn't look good then. It's just now I look how I want to look so far, right? So my advice is just don't be hard on yourself. Take that plunge and keep trucking away. If you guys need anything, you guys need support, you need someone to talk to, please reach out in the community. I know I don't post as often, but I try to be a guiding voice in this community. I'm very, very, very passionate about weight loss and men's health, and even other areas of health. So please don't feel free to reach out to me, okay? Good luck and welcome to Ivim.